Long ago, in the ancient land of LeRon, two lovers fled the coming darkness, Guinevere, the princess of sunlight, and Flan, the god of flame. They settled down in a distant land, bringing with them miracles and sunlight. They erected a tower of flames, in stark defiance of the sea that had begun to surge around them. They were happy. It wasn't long before they had trained their own order of knights. Knights that would carry out justice and bring judgment down upon those that would prefer to go unchecked. They forged weapons from strange metal, said to be imbued with the power of the sun itself. All was as it should be. They had fled the dark. They had found love, a new home, a new people to help, and for a while, it was as it used to be. But in this world, light cannot last at such an intensity forever. For the brighter the light, the longer its shadow. In a land far to the east, the abyss was opening, and the shards of the dark soul again claimed a subject. Driven by greed and want, this queen sought solace in taking from Guinevere and Flan what they had so desperately sought to build. She brought old knights, and did battle with them, slowly corrupting and destroying the very land that they stood upon. But this Queen Nishandra was thwarted. She needed more power. So she traveled far away to the base of the fallen ash trees, to the land long forgotten. Upon this land a new city was being built, the city of Lindelt, the new home of miracles. Standing on the rubble that was once the great city of Anolando, where the painting still remained. In a broken cathedral she found an old friend's body, a dragon slayer, the leader of 4 knights of old, and a good friend of Guinevere. Nishandra filled his body with dark magic, bringing him back to fight once again. Then she returned to finish what she started. Upon seeing Ornstein, Guinevere's god fell, and Ornstein struck. He still resides in that cathedral. At that, Flan's resolve broke, and it wasn't long before he was nothing but a body, hollowed and alone. Guinevere and Flan's land sank into the sea. The old knight stayed, Ornstein stayed, guarding the ground where his princess rested. New people came to seek refuge, the leader of the Way of Blue, and a cunning thief who had stolen some of the most treasured miracles in Lindelt, Lycia. Now it is not recorded whether Saint Lycia was killed, and this thief just an impostor, or whether she herself had done something horrible. What we know is that she traveled here to find more miracles, perhaps to atone for her sins, or perhaps to gull some more. Now the land of Heides sleeps, forgotten, in ruins of memories long past. Alright, so perhaps a little overdramatic, but that is my take on the story of what is going on in Heides. So I'm just going to kind of talk about the gameplay. I did cut a few scenes out. I did go back and get the Chloranthe ring and do a couple more things like that before I started filming. I also went back to burn the sublime bone dust in the bonfire in Majula, so that's kind of why you get that weird cut. And the reason we're killing Lycia here is, one, she's a traitor. She's a complete juck face. But two, we really want her bell, and yeah. Yep, we want her bell, basically. And it's really hard to kill her later on, so this is like your one chance to kill her. So if you're going to kill her, you're not going to be able to buy miracles except from her corpse, which it takes forever for that gravestone to actually appear. But I'd still recommend doing it. Knock her off a cliff. I fail miserably, actually. You want to go to the window to the left? I went straight. So she ran back up, but we got the job done, then that's what really matters. So you guys probably have some questions, like, why is it that I think that Nishandra came here and started attacking Heides? What if it just, fell into the sea? Is this where Guinevere and Flan came, or is this just Anolando? I really don't think it's Anolando, because the Painted Guardian set makes me think so much that Lindelt, or Lindell, I'm not actually sure how you pronounce it, but I've just been adding the T, that's actually where Anorlando is now. Whether the ash trees are still erect or fallen, no idea. But it seems to me that Lindelt has a cathedral which has the painting of Aramaeus in it. And that's why I think it's either very close to Anorlando or actually in Anorlando and it's just built on the rubble. It's possible they could have stolen it, but I mean, maybe they have enough people to transport that painting. But I mean, the Painted Guardians were kind of pissed if people tried to, do that kind of thing. So I'm assuming that they kind of became the Painted Guardians or something like that. Other interesting things. Ornstein uses dark magic, and if this was where Guinevere was, I'm assuming she'd be in the cathedral like she was before, and Ornstein would be guarding her. But why does Ornstein use dark magic? Maybe he was sent by Gwyn to protect her, and then Nashandra corrupted him, and he betrayed Guinevere. But I'm assuming Guinevere's gone, that she's dead. I don't know if Flan is in the top of the tower now, or if he's dead. But Ornstein's definitely evil now. Whether that's the same Ornstein that we saw, or whether that's an imposter, or we fought an imposter in Dark Souls 1, and this is the real Ornstein, I don't know for sure, but I can say, the dark armor and the using dark magic says that he was corrupted somehow. At least to me, so I'm not entirely sure, but that's what I would assume. The old knights you can actually find, and I believe I showed a clip of it, right before you meet Nashandra, and right before you open the King's Gate to get to her. So whether they're actually just, Drangleic Castle stone guard things, or whether Nashandra brought those statues to life and brought them to Anorlando to do some heavy set, attacks and whatnot. I don't know, but I'm assuming she brought them to life and brought them to Anorlando to destroy Guinevere and Flan. But yeah, that's my take on the lore. Item descriptions to look at, kind of to back me up. Soothing Sunlight shows that Lycia stole it and it was never recovered. The Saint set gives you a clue that she does have a past, but that she was a saint, so perhaps it was actually Lycia the Saint. But at the same time, Lycia laughs like a completely evil person, so I don't understand how she could get to the place where she'd actually be able to steal Soothing Sunlight from Lindelt, because they have a very underground, that's where the Archdrake guys are. They're protecting that kind of stuff, which is interesting because they're in the Shrine of Amana. So is the Shrine of Amana by Lindel's? Are they underground because that's just, they were very secretive? I honestly don't know, but it's an interesting thing to think about. But yeah, so I think Lycia, I don't know if it's actually Lycia or not, because either she's just given up acting, which is fine, and just decided, hey, I'm going to laugh evilly and give you a bunch of clues that I'm a complete jerk that just wants a bunch of money and to steal stuff from everyone, and I'm basically Patches. Or someone killed Lycia and is now impersonating her. Those are the only two things that I can think of. Or Lycia went mad and is starting to hollow, and that's why that went on. Or maybe Lycia killed the person way back when and became Saint Lycia, and the real Saint Lycia never, didn't really play much of a part. But anyways, now that we're done with that, I can kind of talk about what we're actually doing in this playthrough, rather than just the lore and the story of each area. So we kind of started as deprived, so we had no armor or anything like that. And I'm just trying to make it as interesting as possible, so, I'm trying to do somewhat of a speed run, but show the level at the same time. On the Dragon Slayer boss, I was... not the Dragon Slayer. Actually, I don't even remember what he's called now that I think about it. Anyways, the boss I faced before this one, I was trying to do the quick kill, where basically you just wait till he comes towards you, and then you run to his right side and he stabs off the edge. It didn't work though, so I just decided to go for it and kill him, because, you know, he's pretty much the easiest boss in the game. So, you know, not very hard to do, but yeah. We're going to be using a very interesting weapon later on that I have not seen anyone use. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I did, however, mess up. You see, I could be using it right now, and it would actually be really nice to have. But I wanted to get full strength, which is really actually pointless. Because by the time that I will have enough strength to use it in one hand, it will almost be obsolete. So I was waiting until I could put a certain enchant on it to make it very useful, but it all works out in the end. So the next area we're going to be exploring is Huntsman's Copse, and seeing the story there. Has to do with the pursuer and whatnot. Also, now that the Iron King DLC has come out, we know Raim's story, because we actually fight Raim in that DLC, so we know he's not the pursuer, which really saddens me, because I was really hoping that he was, but yeah, what are you gonna do about it? The sad thing is it came out like right after I released that video, so yeah. It makes you wonder though who the Mad Knight of Elkin is. Also, Kraton's armor, that it has the Elkin seal that you find on that mug, that's actually the symbol of Mira, so yeah. Other things I've noticed since making the last video. But I hope you guys have really enjoyed the video. I threw in a little PvP at the end because while I was making the other scene for that, I got invaded, of course. I think I got invaded multiple times. I just don't know where the other guy went. But anyways, it's been fun, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you had a great time. And yeah, take care.